I am here with Ori from Ori Custom Florals, right in Newmarket. It's the first time I've actually been to your place.
Yes, ma'am. It is. Yeah, we've been here for 19 years. We moved here, in 2005.
Yes,
yeah.
From Baltimore.
From Baltimore, right. Yeah, we started, we moved there in 91, and we started our business in 95, 96.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. So
yes.
31 years later, here we are.
Here you go. And no signs of slowing down anytime soon, I don't think.
Well, no, not really.
Yeah.
No. Different
pace.
avenues,
yes.
but definitely not slowing down. So fortunately.
Yes, yeah, that's great. So your business has kind of taken on a few iterations,
yes.
especially recently.
Yes.
I know the pandemic especially caused you to kind of pivot and scramble and try to figure out how you can continue to get your gorgeous work to people.
Right, absolutely. Yes, it did. We, up until that point, we were strictly weddings, and we did nothing else. We were strictly weddings.
Yeah.
And when COVID hit, we had to branch out, and we're doing this every day. Last week, we announced the new thing we're offering is Ori's Flower Bar.
Yeah.
So we'll come to events.
That.
Yeah, we'll come to events
that idea.
like baby showers, bridal showers, and we'll show you guys how to make a bouquet, excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of the new things that we're offering. So we're every day, every week, we're trying to offer new things.
Yeah,
and
I know you've done some different work, like the holidays. You've done the horse things, you've done the trees, you've done some really cool things for people.
Yeah, one of the most cool things that we ever have done, I think, was during the pandemic. For every wedding I did that I actually completed that year, I saved a couple of the flowers and dried them. And then at the end of the year, I did a Christmas tree that was auctioned off for a charity. I don't remember what the charity was.
Unreal.
But yeah, it turned out magnificent. It was beautiful and had so much meaning behind it because I knew each one of those flowers represented a successful, completed wedding. So,
that's very, very cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
What was it about the wedding for you? Well, let's actually back up a little bit. Flowers. How did you land in flowers and decorating and designing?
Yeah, it's an interesting journey. Actually, before this, I actually worked for an orthopedic company owned by Bristol Myers Squibb called Zimmer.
Okay.
I worked for their orthopedic company, and
what were you doing? I can't even imagine you.
I was a customer service rep. So, but I knew my business there back and forth. I knew all the numbers. I knew it all. So,
wow.
But I met my partner of 36 years.
Yeah.
And he was a national conference designer.
Yeah.
So he would design conferences for like Blue Cross Blue Shield Federal Employee, their annual conference.
Yeah.
He would design everything about the event, from the theme down to the workshops, everything.
Wow.
And it was on one of these workshops or one of these conferences that I attended with him where they needed some flower arrangements. And last minute I ran and grabbed some flowers and threw it together and helped them out. And it seemed to work well. I told him I liked what I did and I was interested in it. And at that time, we worked with a large company in Baltimore that was called PW Feeds. It's a large production company. And we did some events for them when I decided to do this. And eventually I said, yes, I really want to do this. And I trained with, if you know the movie Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts.
Yes.
I trained with the lady who did all the flowers for that movie.
Holy cow.
Yes, for a year. Her name was Andrea Steef in Baltimore. And I trained with her for a year when I started 32 years ago. And I decided I loved it too much, and I went out on my own after that. So 1 year was the only training I had. And back then we didn't have the internet, so I couldn't do tutorials and look things up.
Couldn't go to YouTube like we can now.
Right. I actually have
maybe you should produce some YouTube videos so people can start making Ori's floral decor.
Right.
That's unreal, though. So I feel like this must have been in you all along. That you just maybe didn't have the vehicle to do it, because I can tell you, you can give me a whole slew of flowers and I can try to do it. It's never going to look anything like what you can create. So that is a gift, my friend, that you were born with. Okay, so now you're not strictly weddings, but you do weddings, obviously.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
But you are custom designed.
Yes.
So it is a kind of a personal one-to-one
absolutely
relationship. It's not like you're making 10 things and people are coming in and choosing.
Not at all.
You're making something for someone specific.
Absolutely. And that's the premise that I've based my whole career on, is that we make it individual, one of a kind for each customer.
Yeah.
I chose early on in my career not to associate with FTD, where that's what you do. You make the same arrangements that they dictate over and over and over.
Yeah.
I wanted my own freedom.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, I wanted my own freedom. So I've pushed for that for the whole time that I've done this. So it's been one of the best decisions I ever made was to do that. So, and plus I think my reviews reflect that we do deliver that personalized service. So
bar none.
Yeah,
Bar none. There's no question in my mind. Like, you take the time, the care, the energy to really understand what's trying to be created, who it's for, what is the purpose, how, and then you bring out something so stunning. It's just really, you're incredible. You really are.
Well, it's wonderful. I love it. I don't work. I don't work.
Yeah,
I don't work.
That.
Yeah, so I love it so much that I absolutely don't feel like I'm working.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have like kind of a pinnacle moment in this long career that you just go, wow, I can't believe I did that?
Well, there's two. The first one I would say was 15 years ago. We were just moving out of Baltimore and coming here, and it was the largest wedding I'd ever produced. And that was pretty stunning for me. We did ceiling treatments and changed the lighting in the room. There was custom linens, 5 different height tall arrangements. I mean, it's just crazy. A wall of chiffon. It was just, it was one of the biggest weddings we'd ever produced.
How much did that cost?
It was close to $30,000. So back then, back then. So, you know, today would probably be closer to 45.
Yeah.
So, but that was one of the largest weddings that we've ever produced. And that wedding actually ended up in Style magazine, and it got me quite a lot of features. So,
wow.
There for a while, I'll tell you, when we first started, we were in magazines almost every year for like the first 15 years of what we did. So
doesn't surprise me at all.
Well,
does not surprise me.
Any advertisement you can get is great in the industry.
Of course.
Yeah, but the best is word of mouth, and that's why we try so hard to. One of the things that we do to ensure that we're giving customized service is we provide a sample for the bride to see before her event, and that way she gets to actually see what the centerpieces look like, all the flowers in her bouquet. We measure her so that we're right on the size for the bouquet.
That's
so
amazing.
we definitely are not like every other florist.
Yeah.
We don't overbook ourselves. I don't have 5 weddings a day.
Yeah.
You meet with me, I'm doing the work before you.
What's the craziest thing a bride has ever asked for?
Black, all black. She did all black. She didn't have a black dress. She had a white dress, which I thought was very interesting, but she did all black fabric. She did black silk flowers. Everything was black. Black linens, black, everything was black, and then she shows up in the white dress.
Wow.
So it was very goth feel. That was the strangest thing I've ever done. One event that I did was for a client that I met when I was working at Andrea's Steak, and they would do parties for the Kentucky Derby every year. This last event I did for them that I remember before we moved here was for Preakness. It was just so over the top. We had lava fountains everywhere and huge 5-foot daisies, and it just was the most crazy thing I've ever done. It was over the top. So much fun to do and see it. And the blocks of color that we used everywhere. It was so perfect for it.
Is there any flower that you are like, this was the best creation ever?
Hydrangea. Hydrangea.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, I love hydrangea. I will be honest with you. I think that if you look in my work, I use hydrangeas a lot. I use it in different ways.
Yeah.
But it's definitely my go-to flower.
Yeah.
I love the colors. I love the size of it.
Yeah.
I love the size of the hydrangea, the larger head.
Yeah. Is there anything you haven't done that's still on your bucket list?
The thing that always scared me was reaching out and branching out, which what we had to do in 2020.
Right.
Like daily deliveries and funerals. I overcame that fear and conquered that, which was a big step for me. But that worked out really, really wonderfully well. We work closely with Keeney and Bassford and Rest Haven and other funeral homes in the area. So we are starting new things, like I said. We have subscriptions, which it's not a new thing, but it's something that has started to pick up.
Nice.
And you can do 6 months or 12-month, subscriptions for your loved ones or whatever you'd like to do. Mother's Day's coming up.
What a great gift.
It's a great gift. That's what I was saying. It's Mother's Day's coming up. It's a great idea for Mother's Day to send her a year of flowers. Work with a budget, and each month it's the same amount.
You kind of have achieved the things you wanted to achieve, and you're still not working a day, which is excellent. That's the one goal, I think, for most people. If there was one thing you'd want people to know about Ori Custom Florals, what would it be?
Is that I take so much pride in what I do that I go the extra mile that's needed to achieve what's needed. I understand the importance of the symbol of the flowers that you're sending.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of times, like in weddings and funerals, you only have one shot. Birthdays, you only have one shot.
Yeah. Look, I tell you, if you want an arrangement, if you're going to send an arrangement, first of all, get your moms the subscription. Moms, I'm telling you, would absolutely love to receive your artwork every single month. What a great gift. Now, with the delivery, Frederick,
we do a local delivery of about a 15-mile radius is our standard.
So
15-mile radius.
You guys are here in Newmarket, right on Main Street.
Right.
So if you guys draw a circle, you'll know if that covers your area or not for delivery. That's included. If you were going to give me just 3 tips when you're arranging flowers, what would it be?
Have 3 sizes, always have 3 sizes of flowers so that they're not all the same face value. So that gives you movement by having the different sizes. Triangulation of flowers always makes for a beautiful presentation. When I start out training someone to do arrangements, I say north, south, east, west, North Pole, and then 2 triangles.
Okay.
And then you just have to put your fillers in, and that always works.
Oh, wow.
And then my third thing would be always use odd numbers, never even.
Yes.
You don't
what
want
is
it to look
that
like eyeballs.
in nature?
Because it just, if
My
you put 2
landscaper
in,
says
it
the
looks
same thing.
Design.
Always odd
I
number.
just think design, it looks
odd
better.
Number. Well, we thank Ori for his time and his beautiful work. And if you'd like to get yourself some, you got to go to oricustomflorals.com.
That's right.
And check it out.
Thank you so much.